It's Van the Terrible, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to part 45, and we're going to start this off with one of Luigi's most favorite skits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's great with a sword. He can use the 7th phone on. He's got all this stuff. He's amazing, and yet he's got a beard. Is his beard special? That's where he gets all his powers.
Oh, God.
Mother of God.
I had no idea.
And those eyebrows are amazing, too.
What kind of power do they have?
His eyebrows, tell him where his enemies are. They want to watch out for the hypno rays they shoot out.
Oh, such power! How fitting for the Covenant of the Oracle Knights.
Pretty sure he'll. I bet if she said that he shoots laser beams out of his butt, she would believe her.
That's why Annis has that smug look on her face the whole freaking time.
Regardless of the beard, he certainly is intelligent. Just like that comment, it's like, regardless of the beard, he definitely is intelligent.
It's not even really it's not really much of a beard as it is a goatee.
Yeah, I was getting ready to bring that up. Anyways, we're in one of the most annoying dungeons in the game. There's more than one of these.
Dungeon, quote unquote. It's not really a dungeon, more like a spiral.
It's dungeons and dungeon, and it's still annoying.
It's a dungeon without a... Well, it's got a puzzle, but it's a very simple puzzle. Also, I realized for some reason, this is when I realized I hadn't been using a lot of Luke's arts. Like, all of the raging attacks. For some reason, I completely forgot that I learned all those, and I haven't been using them at all.
You monster.
I should have had Rending Fangblade by now.
You should have had Rending Thrust by now.
I should have. Like, all the moves that Ash was using on me way back when I was fighting him, I should have had all those moves by the time I was fighting him.
Yeah, seriously, what's wrong with you?
I don't know why. For some reason, I completely forgot to use those moves.
It's all your fault.
It is my fault. I wasn't paying attention.
I didn't care about the raging attacks. All I wanted was the rending attack.
Yeah, because the rending attacks are amazing.
Yeah, rending thrust pops up your enemies very easily, letting Jade combo the crap out of everything.
That's what happens when you finally decide to do a practice run. Because in my practice run, I realized, oh crap, I'm missing like 5 arts. And then as soon as I used rending thrust, I'm like, wait a second. Suddenly I'm learning like 3 arts in one battle. Like, oh, yeah, I kind of need to use those, don't I?
Whine and complain. Obtained green phonon. Here's the gimmick to this dungeon.
Here's the gimmick to pretty much all of these dungeons, all of these types of dungeons, is you have to find green phonons, and then you have to use them to solve specific puzzles.
Now you have to find different colored phonons and use them accordingly.
Yeah.
It's not just green,
yeah.
there's multiple
colors. You have to use them to solve various puzzles. By various, I mean they're all pretty much the same kind of puzzle.
Love that attack.
I do too. It's another reason why I need to use rending thrust more often.
Need to use rending.
Now I should learn it as long as I keep using it.
Yeah,
there it goes. Rending Fangblade, finally. And that's why you need to learn that move, because it's amazing.
What, rending Fangblade? Meh.
It's kind of like, well, I'm trying to think of what it would be comparable to in Symphonia.
No, I'm just thinking to myself as it's going on. Rending Fangblade. Still not better.
I also screw Guardian. I never use Guardian.
Nobody uses Guardian.
Well, it's useful. I just never need to use it. At least with this game, if you can use Field of Phonons to make it actually somewhat more useful.
Guardian in this game is useless.
Well, Guardian Frost heals you and damages enemies around you, so it's got a use.
Yeah, but it takes 30...
The problem is it's extremely situational.
The problem is that it takes 30 TP to use it. That's the most expensive...
That's
like one of the most expensive attacks you have.
Not if you're giving it Carmine Chambers to lower the TP cost.
And by that point, you're wondering why you're even using it.
Well, you can do that for all of your arts. I think you can. I think the lowest you can get your arts to cost is like 5 TP or something like that. Don't quote me on that because I don't really remember.
It might. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure either.
It's been forever since that is one thing I've never actually done is max out all of my arts with capacity with whatever those things are called. Not capacity cores, but you know what I mean.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that is one thing that I didn't take the time to do. Mainly because I think in order to actually max out everybody's arts, you have to play through the game multiple times.
Yes, you do.
Because even if you get every single one of those even if you have every single Carmine chamber in the game, it's still not enough to max out even one character's arts.
Yeah. That's frustrating.
Unless I think there might be just enough to max out one person.
In one
if you're
summary?
lucky.
In just one fell swoop?
No, you get enough to fully max one character's all of their arts. Like say Luke, for example. I think there's just enough Carmine chambers to max out all of his arts.
Are they specific?
Which means you'd have to play through the game 6 times to max out everybody's arts.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
I mean, this game is great and all, but but I mean, I'm not going to break the game that much. By that point, everyone on your team's level 200, and you don't even need that.
Yeah, if you need to be level 200, that's a problem.
Well, I mean, you might need to be level 200. You'd need to be level 200 if you want to play this game on Unknown, basically, but...
Yeah, but...
That's only if you want to challenge yourself with it.
That's only if you hate yourself.
And really, all changing the difficulty does is constantly doubles all the character's stats. So the worst part of it is you get like 10 times more HP to deal with. So if you can get a character in a stun lock, you're just like, oh, okay, great. Now keep that up for 20 minutes, and then the guy's dead.
Just keep doing it. You'll die eventually.
Basically. And the way this game is programmed, you could potentially do that to every boss in this game, except for probably the super boss, because I guess they figured out, yeah, let's make sure they can't just cheese it.
Dole.
Anyways, as you can no doubt tell, the gimmick is to just get all of these phone hands. So the best thing I can say is just get 6 different colors of them, and then you should be good.
Yeah, yeah, basically. I just got all of them, and it still worked.
Yeah. The other thing about these dungeons, I think I mentioned this earlier, but the music for these dungeons gets really grating after a while.
Yeah.
And this is coming from somebody that loves the OST for pretty much every Tales game. And this is not a bad song, but after about 10 minutes, you want it to stop.
It's like, how do I put it this way? How do I put it in a way?
It's a 1.5-minute loop that goes on for 25 minutes.
Basically, yeah, let's go with that.
So yeah, even if I like this song, after a while it's gonna be... Like, when I was recording this, I think I ended up muting the TV after, 10 minutes.
Like, shut up, game! God, you're like my mom.
Anyway, here's what you do with the phone-ons.
You turn them into musical notes, because why not?
Well, I mean, phone-ons are sound, so sound makes music. It makes sense.
True.
Fun fact, Namco... Well, actually, I would need to double-check. I think Namco... What am I talking about? I have the frickin' thing right over here. If I can find my PS3 games... Where did I put those? Ah, here it is.
One of the great many mysteries of life.
Oh, it's right next to my computer here. I just had to find it.
Oh.
I need to make sure... Yeah. Eternal Sonata, which is also made by Bandai Namco at the point that game came out, Bandai had merged with Namco because Namco was pretty much screwed.
My life.
They had a similar puzzle where you had. I mean, the whole concept of Eternal Sonata for people that have never played it is it's supposed to be based off of Frederick Chopin's life when he was, like, the last few hours of his life when he was in a coma. And, like, they base the game off of what they imagine his last dream was, which is actually pretty interesting. But considering Chopin is a composer, pretty much everything is a music pun in that game. And they have a very similar puzzle in that game that's in... Basically, this puzzle is in that game, I'll bet not nearly as annoying. I'll bet a little more confusing and annoying.
Hey, knock knock, who's there? Trom who? Boom, your face. Ha!
Not quite. If I can actually ever get a chance to record PS3 games, which technically I could with my Dazzle, it's just the quality would be awful.
You also need a component cable for it.
No, the PS3 comes with regular cables that would work with a Dazzle.
That's good.
That's why I said the quality would just be lower. I mean, granted, I don't have a Hopodge anyway, so it wouldn't matter. I just wouldn't be able to record in HD.
Not that.
So it would be a lot more noticeable quality. The quality would be noticeably worse than it should be.
I should probably pay attention to the part because I'm too busy browsing the TV Tropes page.
That's alright. I mean, you've played this dungeon before. You know what to expect.
Yeah, it's stupid. What can I say?
It's the unfortunate thing is these dungeons
are boring as heck.
We apologize. Hopefully in the next, because you're gonna see these dungeons quite a lot. So hopefully in the next couple of dungeons like these, we'll have more interesting stuff to talk about. Since this is the first one, I kind of have to explain the gimmick.
Yeah, I would have in this kind of case, I would have used Guardian Field because reasons.
Yeah, probably. Hey, I finally get a chance to show off Natalia's Mystic Art.
You have to use Gallant Barrage to use it.
I know. I didn't have it equipped on her when I.
It's like no.
Don't kill it yet. There we go. And somewhere out there, Chester is crying.
And so, shut up. Even your Mystic Art is lacking. Somewhere out there, Hawkeye is laughing his butt off. Just like, is that?
Why Hawkeye? I was talking about Chester because he's the only other archer before her at this point.
No, I'm talking about Hawkeye, and he's off laughing at distance. Like, is that it?
I don't even have to look to hit where I'm target. I don't even have to look at my target to hit it.
Basically, it's like, oh, hey, a wall, boom, dead.
I mean, do you not remember? Like, you remember that scene in Avengers when he's just like talking to Tony, and just like out of nowhere he just like shoots an arrow. Like he's looking away and he just shoots an arrow and it hits something. He's not even looking at it. It was great.
He's got Batman reflexes.
And anyway, I can finally get to show off Jade's Mystic Art as well.
I love this one.
This is by far the best
Boom.
Mystic Art in the entire game, unless you're doing a second playthrough.
Yeah, but seriously, you don't need to switch
everyone on screen for over 4,000 damage.
You don't need to,
or nearly 4,000.
Seriously, you don't need to. And now you switched yourself to auto. There you go.
Yeah, that was me being dumb.
Yeah, Mystic Cage, probably one of the best. Period.
Like I said, if you're not taking New Game Plus into account where everyone gets a second Mystic Art, that is by far the best Mystic Art in the game.
It still looks good.
Because I'm going to bring this up now since since I unfortunately can't show off everyone's second Mystic Arts. Luke's second Mystic Art, you have to trigger it the same way that you have to trigger Lloyd's. For those of you that don't know, that means your HP has to be in critical. And so it's extremely situational.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I hate those kinds of moves.
Which means I'm never going to see it.
Let's see. Jade's is I think Jade has to like mash the X button when he's casting a spell, and then it'll eventually just do. Jade's second Mystic Art is actually Indignation.
Oh, big shock.
So yeah. So if you mash the X button while he's casting in Arcane Art, he'll use Indignation on your second playthrough.
Again, big shock.
Tyr's second Mystic Art is Fortune Arc, which is a screen nuke that also revives any dead party members, so it's pretty damn awesome.
Strange.
Granted, the reviving your party members only works once per battle. Otherwise, it would be broken as hell.
Yeah.
Guys, he has to have a specific accessory equipped to use his second Mystic Art.
These sounds very specific.
They are, which is why they're really some of them aren't that bad to do. Like Luke, Guy's isn't actually that hard. You just have to have a specific thing equipped on him. The worst in terms of actually, casting it is Annis's. Only because if Annis doesn't kill anyone, if Annis doesn't end the battle with her second Mystic Art, I think it does something like it takes 10,000, you lose 10,000 gold or some crap.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, I don't know why.
That's not worth it, period.
Well, it does 900,000 damage.
I don't care.
So
That's not worth it. That's not worth the risk.
I could be wrong, but I think there's some kind of speculation. I think there's some kind of thing like that with hers. I don't remember exactly. I've never actually done a second playthrough to do those second Mystic Arts, because, in all honesty, they're not really worth it.
No, they're not. From what you're telling me, it's not.
Most of them, they trigger pretty much the same way that they did in Symphonia, which is if you're near dead, you can use your Mystic Art once. But if it doesn't kill the guy, it doesn't matter, because you're going to be dead in one hit anyway.
Sucks to be you.
Let's see. Ash does not have a second Mystic Art because he's not on your team long enough to get a second Mystic Art, so
yeah, screw him.
He doesn't count. He does have a Mystic Art, but he's on your team for a total of 4 hours. And if you don't get a chance to see it, then you just gotta hope he uses it on you when you fight him.
Screw him.
So yeah, that's... you can always go on GameFAQs. They have an entire page dedicated to how second Mystic Arts work. I'm not going to do an exhibition on all the Mystic Arts. Too many people have done that already, and anyone that's tried to do that knows how freaking tedious it is to record something like that. Not only do you have to record all of it, then I have to edit it all together and make it flow properly. Blah.
Blah indeed. Not blah indeed, because blah, screw it.
So yeah, I guess what they were trying to do is they're yes, you have these second Mystic Arts that are twice as strong, but they come at a price, but the price is not worth it.
No, it's not worth it at all, period.
In fact, I want to look that up to make sure that I'm right about that. Because unfortunately at this point, actually, as soon as I go on GameFAQ, why is there an FAQ for Super Mario Maker?
Because maybe people just want to have a stage, and they're not very creative.
Yeah. That's fine. I never thought that there would be one for that. Let's see.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna list off the tropes for each character in Tales of the Abyss.
Yeah, go for it.
That's always fun, right? To just go on to tangents.
Well, I mean,
I'll skip over spoilers.
What's there to talk about with this dungeon? Well, you had that light. For those of you that have played Symphonia, this will kind of be a refresher for you, because the Tower of Salvation had a similar puzzle to this.
Yeah, it sucked then, and it's nowhere near as crap now.
It was easy back then. It's easy now.
No, it was crappy back then, and it's not as crappy now because it lasts 2 seconds.
Yeah, but it's the same concept. Let's see.
I like this. I like this trope under tier. Boobs of steel.
Oh God.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
Sorry. Let's see.
Nothing of interest is happening.
Unfortunately,
We're going from room to room to room, trying to get rid
here's
of
the here's the frustrating part. There it is. I need to get a red. I need to get that red.
You
phone
need a red
on
phone
over
on, but you can't do it with.
Hey, 12,000 gold, not bad.
But you need to get that red phone on, but you can't. Well, that guy is there.
Yeah, you can. You just have to find it, and you got to shoot fire.
No,
at
I'm saying,
it.
well, that guy is there, and you killed him, so whatever.
Yeah, true.
No Mew tackling the red fire is not going to do anything.
It doesn't look like GameFAQs has anything about the second Mystic Arts. Let's see. Now what?
Under tier here. Here's a trope. He is not my boyfriend.
Oh God.
I think you can pretty much understand what that is.
That sounds about right.
The holy hand grenade.
Holy hand grenade. Wait, is that going to be a spoiler for something that we haven't done yet?
No. It's basically talking about abilities she already has. At this point.
Yeah. Okay, here's a list. Okay. Luke's second Mystic Art is called Lost Phone Drive. You have to in order to use it, you have to be on your second playthrough or higher. You have to have the Key of Lorelei equipped, which we will find out more about that later. And it costs 100 TP to use. To execute, HP must be at critical, 15%, or the numbers have to be in red. Be in overlimit. Press guard, attack, and art simultaneously. So basically, the same way that you use Lloyd's Mystic Art in Symphonia.
Single woman seeks good man.
Damn it.
Lawful stupid.
Go on.
Lawful stupid. I like this one. Can I read this one? It's not.
Go ahead.
It's subtly implied that raising her as this was deliberately done by the Yulia city elders to help her adhere to the because destiny says so attitude of the Oracle Knight.
Sounds about right.
Ironically, she's more open to the idea of changing destiny than she is breaking the rules of society. I like that one. That was funny.
Yeah. Anyway, Tyr's second Mystic Art, Fortune's Arc.
Yeah, I mentioned that on here.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. While she has to be in overlimit, use Judgment. While she's using Judgment, you can press and hold X, and it extends into Fortune Arc. So yeah,
this is great. First trope under Jade: adults are useless.
God damn it.
Averted and Lape Jade to heck and back. Jade is a magic knight and vital to many plot elements, but exploits this trope for fun.
Yep. Speaking of Jade, indignation for him, you have to use Thunderblade at least 200 times.
Not gonna happen.
And then when you're in overlimit, you keep mashing R2 until he eventually just casts it randomly. So that's how that works. So Jade's is pretty much the easiest one to do, because he doesn't have anything super special to do outside of casting Thunderblade 200 times.
Ah, great. That's what we need.
And since your art usages carry over with playthroughs, you should have used Thunderblade 200 times by that point.
Yeah, you really should have.
So yeah, Jade's is the easiest one to use by far.
There's really no excuse by that point.
That's the Annis. She can get an extension of Final Fury into Dying Moon. That's only in a second playthrough or higher. You just keep holding down the attack button after Final Fury to get an extra couple of hits on. That's not too bad.
It's a complete waste of time, that's what it is.
But, well, it's get a little bit of extra damage is always good. But Fever Time, you can only use it on a second playthrough again. You have to use Lucky at least 100 times. And then, while having full HP, you use Lucky, and it goes off, but if you don't kill every enemy on screen, you lose 200,000 gold.
Not worth it. I don't care what anybody says. It's not worth it.
I'm sorry, 20,000.
That's still not worth it.
But still, it's not worth it, you know. 200,000 is way too much. It's only 20,000, but still. If you don't kill everything, you lose 20,000 gold.
You lose money by failing at life.
And again, what is Namco's obsession with spiral dungeons? All this dungeon is a giant staircase.
Ask Namco.
It's pretty easy, though. Let's see. For Guy, his second Mystic Art is Brilliant Overlord. Of course, you have to be on a second playthrough or higher. You have to use Final Cross 150 times.
Oh, goody.
While equipped with the Jewel of Guardios.
Oh, goody.
And your HP must be at low levels, below 1/4, and be in overlimit. Then use Final Cross. And then it goes off.
In this game, there's no reason for you to ever have Guy at low health.
And then, last but not least, we have Natalia. and her second Mystic Art is Noble Roar. Again, second playthrough or higher. You have to use Piercing Line at least 150 times, and be equipped with the Elven Bow. So hers isn't that hard. You just have to use Piercing Line while equipped with the Elven Bow. So, yeah. And then there's Ash, and he only has one Mystic Art.
Who cares about Ash?
No need to worry about him.
Who cares about Ash at this point?
So, yeah. I apologize if I'm not going to show those off, but if you were paying attention to what I was listing off, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
I don't think anybody would blame you either.
That's a little too much. I mean, if I was doing a second playthrough, I'd be doing a 10 times experience run just to make it go faster.
Kill everything.
Be at level 200 by the end of the game. I don't care. My friend from college did that, and he just obliterated the final boss like he was nothing.
Out of my face, peasant!
Basically. Although he didn't get any of the second Mystic Arts, probably because he didn't even know they existed. Because who would? Who would think to do all that crap?
Nobody, that's who.
I'm sure they have some sort of indication of how to do it when you're actually playing, but... ugh. And I have successfully managed to pad out half of this video with my ranting about the second Mystic Arts.
Hooray!
Now I need to think of something else to rant about when we do another one of these dungeons. There's that red one that I finally need.
Gender blend.
And I need to have Mute Fire. No, get away from me, you stupid golem. Get away from me. I don't want to fight you.
Here's another trope under Jade. Gender blender name.
Oh,
Jade is also a common girl's name.
That is very true. Anyways, so let's see. I think I have everything that I need. Now, what you can do is if you don't have to get all of the phonons at once. If you go to where you need to be and you are missing a phonon, you can just go back and find one and come back. You don't have to put them all down at once to get it to work.
Yeah.
So if you're missing one, don't worry about it. Also, they do respawn if you're missing. Like, say you need another red phonon. that one that I shot the Mew fire at, that one will respawn eventually. I'm not sure exactly how it does, or what you have to do to respawn it, but I know it can. What?
Another trope. Jack Bauer interrogation technique.
Oh,
I can't talk about that because that's a spoiler.
Yeah.
I love that.
And you're gonna get close enough. You're getting close enough to that scene anyway. So. Anyway, by putting all the musical notes in the right spot, you make this bridge and you can break the Hylian seal. Huzzah! We're done with the first room.
Finally, we're done with like the first room of about how many rooms?
We're done with the first sephiroph.
Of how many?
Be prepared to see that a couple more times.
Again, of how many?
I honestly can't remember how many sephirophs there are in this
Oh,
game.
crap!
I think probably 3.
Okay.
Because rule of 3 in RPGs.
What?
Yeah, my reaction exactly. What?
Specifically, Tales games. Tales games like to make you do the same puzzle 3 different times.
Yeah, what?
Usually that involves you going through the same dungeon multiple times, looking at you, Tower of Salvation.
I don't know.
Glares at Tower of Salvation.
No, why do you have to go through that tower 4 times?
Why do you have to go? Why do you have to go through it 4 times? Why is there no jump button?
It's like you go up there the first time for the last half of the first part of the game. Okay.
Second time,
And then you go through it again in... Then you go through it again the second time
and okay,
in Tetheala. That makes
okay.
sense.
Third time, okay. Now you're just padding.
Third time is just like, really? 3 times, game?
And fourth time is like, okay. And fourth time, this is just fit. And fourth time, this
It's
is
like,
just padding.
I can forgive 3. Okay, rule of 3. So then you're right. You do have to do it a 4th time. Technically 5 if you consider the final dungeon as technically being the Tower of Salvation, even though it's really
It's
not.
If I could use the 7th
Like the first half of it's kind of the Tower of Salvation, but it's not really.
I like what they do here.
What if I use hyper resonance to erase the code or whatever?
Oh yeah,
It uses the 7th phonon, right?
I like when they do
If you could erase just
world
the code,
building
that might
in
work.
terms of plot progression.
No, I like this because I imagine when Luke was doing this, I imagine he wanted to do connected dots first.
Besides,
It's like look, I made a boat.
That's true. You're right.
Like, look, I can draw.
No, it's like imagine this, and it's like, look, I drew a boat. You're supposed to draw a circle. Oh,
Is lit up red. Erase just that red part.
my bad.
Like,
I'll give it a
it's
try.
like, don't you remember that lesson I gave you on how to draw Kirby?
You never taught me how to draw Kirby.
All Kirby is 4 circles.
Looks like it started
Or
off
5.
the Sephiroth
Didn't I teach you how to draw
using
Mickey
memory
Mouse?
particles to raise the land.
He's only 3
Kirby's
circles.
better because he's literally just 5
No,
circles.
he's 3 circles.
Technically 5.
We did it!
His
We did it!
his body, his feet, and his hands.
No, I'm talking about the face by itself.
Thank you.
And
Oh yeah.
the face on Tyr is like,
Like,
what?
whoa, what the hell?
No, her face looks like she just got high for the first time.
You weren't here.
Like, what the? It's like, whoa.
It's like, whoa, that was freaky.
It's
Don't do it
because you
again.
all helped.
I was
Thank
like,
you all so much.
whatever you do, don't stare directly at the light. Why? Whoa. That's why I told you not to look at the light.
No, it's like she's like this. Whoa, that was freaky. Do it again.
Like, whoa. What did you see? I don't know. There was nothing but colors.
And there's nothing but colors and a bunch of aliens called wisps. I think there's a hedgehog there too. Weird.
Oh no, wait! It's too soon to be celebrating.
Man, Sonic Colors really did feel like Sonic was just high the entire game.
That was fun.
Whoa.
That was a great game. I did a Let's Play of that, and Luigi commentated on part of it with me.
So-
I'll bet on a part that I did horribly on. Screw you, Aquarium Park.
And gave.
Granted, it was just me being
Oh no!
me. I'm not very good at Sonic games.
Evacuate the people from
When I was playing Sonic Colors, I was always very reservative about using the boost button.
Yeah.
Just a bit
No, I was more
tired,
talking
yes.
about fighting that
I'm
boss
fine.
in Aquarium Park and not knowing how to freaking homing attack underwater.
You don't homing attack underwater yet. You have to use the drill wisp to attack it.
I know.
And you didn't do
Anyways.
that. Anyway, yeah.
Anyways, now that we've activated this passage ring, another island is starting to fall. So guess what we have to do?
More backtracking!
Yep, we're basically going to have to do this entire puzzle again in a separate dungeon. Yeah.
Throws it.
See you guys in part 46.
Throws Mike out.